Gertrude laid some fresh flowers on her son's grave. She then looked over at her daughter-in-law, Nelly, and said, "Nelly, it's been 3 weeks now. I don't want to start a fight, but I think it's time to move on. We have no way to provide for ourselves. We have no money." Gertrude frowned, but then Nelly said, "Actually, I've thought about it. And you're right, Gertrude. I think we could go back to my hometown. I could find a way to provide for us there." Gertrude said, "Well, that's wonderful, dear. And please, you can call me Mother." And so, Gertrude and Nelly traveled together back to Nelly's hometown. And when they arrived, Gertrude exclaimed, "Oh, it's beautiful here, Nelly. Why have you never told me about this place? Oh, and the people here are so kind. I just hope where we live isn't too close to the cemetery. It would make me so sad to think of my son that's just passed away." Nelly smiled. "You won't ever have to worry about that, Mother. There is no cemetery here." "What? No cemetery? But that just makes no sense. And in addition, there's also no doctor here." "What? No doctor? Well, surely you need one of those. How do you treat the sickness here?" "That's just it, Mother. There is no sickness here. I know it's hard to believe, but stay a while. You'll see." And so they stayed, and they lived happily for many, many weeks. They were enjoying perfect health. They were still lacking for money and a way to provide for each other. And more weeks passed on, situation not changing, happy, healthy, but more and more desperate for money. And then one day, Gertrude woke up with a cough. It started small, but it got worse and worse until she was in a big coughing fit, and she said, "Nelly, I don't understand. I thought I couldn't get sick here. What's going on?" Nelly said, "I'll go get help." But who will you get help from, my dear? There's no doctor here." "I'll go get help, Mother. Just lie there." And she ran out the door. Gertrude's head was spinning. She kept coughing, losing her breath, coughing, and wondering, "Am I the only one who can get sick here? No, that doesn't seem likely. Does this town have some secret? If other people get sick here, surely they would need a doctor, so why don't they have one?" Nelly ran back in the door, out of breath. "Mother, I've found some help. And I think I found a way to solve our money problems, too." "What? Well, who did you find? And how did you solve our money problems?" A large, greasy man walked into the room. He looked over at Gertrude, and then back at Nelly, and said, "Will this be enough?" And he dumped a large bag of coins onto the table. The coins struck the wood, and then clinked sweetly against each other. Nelly was ecstatic. "Oh, yes! Oh, thank you, bless you! Yes, this is perfect, thank you so much!" Gertrude from the bed, Nelly, what's going on? How have you gotten this money?" Nelly was so happy, playing with the money in her hands, saying, "Oh, Mother, he's here to take care of your sickness." "Nelly, silly girl, but I need a doctor to take care of my sickness. What is the butcher doing here?" Nelly stopped playing with the coins. "There's no sickness in this town, Mother, because we don't allow it here. That's what our butcher is here for." Gertrude watched as the butcher tied his apron. She started to connect the dots. She said, "Nelly, why is there no cemetery here?" Nelly and the butcher both laughed, and the butcher smiled at her and said, "Well, that's just because we're not wasteful." Gertrude screamed. The butcher walked into the room, and the last sounds that Gertrude ever heard was the sounds of her own screaming, and of her daughter-in-law playing with the coins clinking together on the table.